5-6 sheets, and try and do that with a cement board. Very light, very strong. So I'm going to be installing a Hydro Ban shower, the new Hydro Ban board. Lightweight foam board with a Hydro Ban membrane waterproofing on the front and back. It's very, very dense. I have the bonding flange. I have a niche, screws, washers, sealant. The fabric for the liquid applied waterproofing, the Hydro Ban material here, the Hydro Ban liquid applied waterproofing. And then I have the mortar for the mud bed, and thinset Tri-Light, which is a lightweight polymer modified thinset. So I'm going to be installing this in a shower, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so this is the shower. And this is the floor, which this is the little one. This is going to have to come up. I'm going to have to do some bracing with these things here. This is no good. So this floor is going to be worked on. But this is the shower. First thing you want to do is see how in line studs are. See if they're in plane. So I'm going to put a level across it. And see how they are. And they all pretty much touch except for this one here, which is a little bit, now I'm going to further that out a bit. And it's pretty level, it's not bad. And then you can check this one here as well. And these don't seem to be bad at all. But this one here is the problem. This one is a huge problem. We got a good 3/8 1/4 and about an 1/8 there, so I'm gonna have to fur this to get it flat. And then I got my corner here, which is not bad, and this way it's not bad either. Job one. Fur it out, get everything in plane. Okay, so I cut some strips of this stuff here, and I got a couple layers here. There's like 2 layers of that there, and there's 1 layer over here, and that makes me completely flush all the way across. I have to put some more on this one here, and that makes me flush all the way across there as well. And this is the big headache right here. I'm trying to decide whether to plane this or fur these out here. Now we're good, all the way across. And this is good all the way across, so this is the problem here. Because this is so far out, we decided that we're going to plane this down to bring it back in line with these other studs. And then if I have to do a little furring with this material here, I will. So I got up the board. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets, and try and do that with a cement board. Very light, very strong. It's with a polystyrene board, very dense. And when you put this up, you don't need washers, except if you do the ceiling. Now this here, when you this is just a shower, so the seams and the corners get treated with the Hydro Ban liquid applied waterproofing membrane and the tape and the fiberglass tape that you embed in the screw holes where you put the screws gets covered with the membrane. I'm going to show you all that in a minute. Very light, very strong. Cut it with the utility knife, the sharp blade. So these are Laticrete screws for the Hydro Ban board, and you don't need washers on these. The only time you need the washers is if you do the ceiling, or if you want to overlap the board. You can use a washer, or you can just put a screw on the bottom and one on the top. And the studs have to be 16 inches on center, 2x4. This is really rigid. So I'm going to put the bottom piece on. I just want to show you. Nice and flat. All the way around. To firm out the studs. So you got a nice flat surface of tile. So all these seams, anything less than 1/8 of an inch gap, like that's maybe 1/8 of an inch, that's about 1/8 of an inch. Anything more than that, you have to fill with thinset before you waterproof it with the Hydro Ban. But because that's right around that 1/8 of an inch, I don't have to do that. So I can just coat that afterwards and it'll be good. So I'm going to put this piece on now. The board is up here and it's all screwed in. Now I got to treat the seams and the corners, and then when I put the mud in I got to treat the transition from the wall to the mud. Okay, so for a regular shower you have a couple of options. You can use the Hydro Ban liquid waterproofing membrane with a mesh tape, alkali resistant mesh tape. See, it says alkali resistant mesh tape. You can use the fabric, which is fiberglass fabric that you can impregnate with the waterproofing. I'll open that in a second. Now these options here are for a regular shower, when it's not going to be a steam shower. Steam shower, you have to use different materials. The board's the same, but instead you need to treat the corners with the membrane. It's a kind of a band of a waterproofing membrane, and they also make inside and outside corners. So, and then you would install these with thinset, with a modified thinset. These here go installed with the membrane, and when you put so you also have the option for the floor, you can have their foam pad trays, which you can cut and fit into the floor, or you can do mud. And for the mud, you also have the option for a regular shower. This is the shower that is not a steam shower. You can waterproof. I'll show you this later. For now, I'm just going to do the all the corners and seams. So for the waterproof shower, you either use a Hydro Ban to waterproof and with the bonding flange, or you can use a membrane, which I don't have right now. I'm going to pick that up today. A membrane, it's a sheet membrane that you tie into the bonding flange. It seems a little bit confusing, but I'll show you as I go along. So, and now this is the bonding flange. That goes, it's 3 parts. It's the bonding flange, and then it's got the bottom plate, and then the drain that screws into this here. Right, it's hard to do one-handed. I'll show you in a minute. So anyway, this screws onto here. I can't do it with one hand. So that's the bonding flange. And now this needs to be also coated with 2 coats of the Hydro Ban. And just to be clear, when you use this system here with the Hydro Ban, it's always 2 coats, and this is going to get coated with Hydro Ban as well. And even if you use the membrane, the sheet membrane, you still need to coat this with the Hydro Ban so that the membrane and the thinset will stick to it. So I'm gonna show you the stuff all in that. So like I was showing, this is the screws onto here. This is stainless steel, and there's a plastic coat on here. And you screw it down to the correct height for the tile. You also have that goes on there like that. So I'm going to coat this. I'm going to coat this surface here with the Hydro Ban, and I'm going to make sure it's clean, it's dust free, there's no fingerprints on it, so that the Hydro Ban will stick to it. I'll really make sure this is clean before I coat it. So this is the fabric, and I'm going to pre-cut all the lengths here. I'm going to pre-cut all these lengths, and this, and over there, and it always has to be a 2-inch overlap. So I'm going to corner like that. Okay, so when I do the mud, I'm going to use this for the mud, which is the fabric, which is actually the membrane. See that? It's the membrane. I'm going to use this here to waterproof the mud when I put it in. I'm not putting that in today. So this goes, I'm going to put that on, so this goes like this. That goes like that. And you put this on with a polymer modified thinset. But I'm going to get to this when I do the mud. So for now, I'm just going to waterproof the curve and all the corners. So I pre-cut all the pieces, the corners up and down, for the horizontal, and the piece for here. And when you're using the Hydro Ban here, I suggest you wear gloves, because it gets on your fingers, it dries. It's really hard to get off. I'm going to coat this, and I'm going to embed the fabric, and then I'm going to give it another coat. I'm going to let it dry, and then give it another coat. I'm gonna do the other corner. This probably was probably anyway. But anyway, I'm gonna do this other corner. Move this out of the way so you can see it. Okay, so another option to treat the seams and the corners of the Hydro Ban board is that you can use that sealant that comes in a tube. You can put some sealant between the sheets when you put them together and in the corners, and make sure you get a good heavy bead between them, and you press the sealant out so it's completely covered, and then you add another layer of that sealant onto the seam or the corner, and you spread it out so you get like a 2-inch overlap. So the sealant is an option if you want to use it. So those two corners are done. Now, if you want to use, to do the same thing, you can use this instead of the fabric. It's a little bit cheaper option, but I prefer the fabric because it just, I think it gives a better job, but this is perfectly fine if you want to use this. So I'm going to get the rest of that, basically the same thing, and then you do a second coat. Okay, so the fabric is all on, all the corners, all the seams, all the screw heads, and this is the first coat. Now I'm gonna hit everything with the second coat. This is the curb, and when I do the mud, I'll show you how to do it with thinset and this other membrane. It's a Hydro Ban sheet membrane. I'll show you how to do it that way. Although you could still, put the mud in and do it with the same way I did this. But just to show you how to do it, this is what I'm gonna do. So this also requires a coat when I do the sheet membrane. So you coat up to this ring here. I'm actually gonna give this one coat just so you can see. Let that dry, and then give this another coat, give that another coat. When you do that, so the thinset, when you put the sheet membrane on here, the thinset will stick to this. So, because if you don't coat it with because the Hydro Ban will stick to it, so when you put the sheet membrane on, the thinset will stick to the Hydro Ban, and you want to make sure this is perfectly clean before you coat it. So this is dry. We'll do a second coat. So get ready to install the drain. Okay, so I have several videos showing how to install a mud pan for your shower floor. So I'll leave a link in the description to that. I don't want to make this video longer than it has to be. And I put the drain in. So I want this to be 1.5 inches off there. So right now like this Okay, so I cut a 4.5 inch piece. I'm gonna see if it's the right size. inch and a half. Perfect. Let's cement this in. So I applied the cleaner in here, here, here. Then I'll do this as well. Oh. Yeah, I'll adjust this when I put the mud in. I'll make sure this is level. Okay, so I want to get a pitch of 1/4 inch per foot. So I'm going to measure the furthest distance, which is right here, which is about 2 feet. So that means the mud here has to be 1/2 inch higher than here. So for my mud mixture in there, I'm going to use Laticrete 3701. I'm just going to set this down.
So in the top right hand corner, I'll leave a link in the card to a video on how to install the mud. As I said before, I don't want to make this video really long. Just refer to that video if you need to know how to install mud.
Perfect. So I'm going to do this side and this side, then fill the middle. Perfect. Perfect. So now I have my perimeter done. I'm gonna pack some wetter stuff under the drain here. Wetter mud. I'm gonna make this a little wetter, pack it under the drain, and then squeeze down to it. And that's much wetter now. You know, that's much wetter. Now pack it under the drain here. Okay, now I'm gonna fill in the middle. Right on here and right on there, you get the pitch. Okay, nice slope, about 1/2 inch. Over here, nice slope, all the way around. So I'm going to call that done. I'm just going to clean it up and call it done. Okay, so this is the next day. It's dry. I swept it off, cleaned it off. I'm going to put the membrane down. Okay, so this is the sheet membrane I'm going to be using on the floor. This is the band around the perimeter. outside corners, inside corners. Now this, I'm using this because I want to show how you would do it if it was a steam shower. This is the mud. So if this is a regular shower, which this is, you could also do it with the Hydro Ban liquid membrane, which is here. And you know, with the fabric or the alkali resistant mesh tape. But just to show how I'm going to do it, how you would do it for a steam shower, I'm going to use these. And if you want to, you could just use these anyway. You don't have to do it the other way. You can use the membrane for a steam shower, even for a regular shower. But that's just kind of like defeats the purpose of doing it with the Hydro Ban instead, which, you know, makes it a little bit cheaper, a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece of membrane for the floor. This is 39.5 inches long. So I'm going to cut a piece of this for the floor, and I'm going to cut the band, get the corners, and then I'm going to install it. Okay, I'll check the fit. It's good. Now I'm going to have to cut out this here. It's good. You want to just trim this a little bit? Yeah, actually, it's pretty good. I'm going to put the corners in and cut the band in. So when I cut the band here, I'm not going to go all the way to the corner. I'm just going to go up to this edge here and this edge here, so I get a 2-inch overlap. Now, because this, I'm going to use this outside corner on here, like this, I'm going to have to trim this here and this here. It's going to fit like this here. Now, if this was deeper, then I wouldn't need to do that, but because it's not too deep, I'm going to do that. Then this one here fits like that, so I'm going to have to trim this as well. This goes here like this. And you still got all your 2-inch overlap everywhere. So to help put it in the corner, this is kind of stiff. You know how stiff that is? To help in the corners, I'm going to put a crease in it. And this actually holds the crease pretty well. And that holds the crease pretty good. Now, to install it, you need a V-notch trowel, 1/4 by 3/16 inch V-notch trowel. And that's what I'm going to use to install all this. Okay, so to install the membrane and everything, I'm going to use Trilite. Laticrete recommends a polymer modified thinset, and obviously they want you to use theirs, which is really good stuff. So this is what I'm going to use to install the membrane and the band. Okay, so I like to dampen the floor before I put thinset on it. You know, the reason for that is so that it doesn't suck the moisture right out of the thinset. So, you know, it cleans dust off, etc.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna do this bag here. You want to make sure you get all the air out. Okay, now I clean this up a little bit and put the membrane in the center. Okay, I'm gonna open the concrete and put the membrane in. Make sure you get all the air bubbles out.
let that dry. Flood test it tomorrow. That is completely waterproof. The whole shower is completely waterproof. The top section, as I said, was if you're going to do just a regular shower, and you could use that method on the mud as well. Just paint everything and put some fabric in the corners or mesh tape. If you're going to do a steam shower, you use the membrane with the band, and this is the method for steam showers. But you can also use it for a shower if you want. So there you go. That's totally waterproof shower. So it's being flood tested. The water's at the same level. It's been sitting here for 24 hours. Perfect. So I'm cutting this in. This is going to be tile for the baseboard, like that. And let it go around. So now this goes like this. I can adjust the height of that. So this goes like that. And this I got lucky here. That fits exactly on that. Okay, so I'm going to use a Laticrete Trilite as my adhesive. And maybe not a trowel. These tiles are flat on the back, so you don't need a big trowel. So the first thing I'll do is set this in. Okay, so I forgot to mention the top plate. That's the ring under the drain grate. That should also be coated with Hydro Ban on both sides, so that the thinset will stick to it. So before you install that, make sure you coat it a couple of times. Okay, so this is a good place to end the video. The wall tile, and that will also be installed with the Trilite, Laticrete Trilite, and it's just a subway tile, and it's got a base molding and a crown molding and niche, but that's going to be another video. Otherwise this video will be like 3 hours long. So just to recap, in this video I showed how to install the Hydro Ban board by Laticrete for a regular shower, which you would use the Hydro Ban liquid waterproofing membrane, or if you wanted to use a steam shower, then you would use the actual sheet membranes with the band. And so that's about it. And so as always, don't forget to subscribe, leave your comments in the comments section below. Also, check me out on Patreon. If you can support me there, that'd be great. I will leave a bunch of links in the description to other videos and tile products that I recommend. Most important of all, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video.